Thank you, Rod, for setting me up here for the Tony's Picks happy hour on a Friday. Happy Friday to you, everybody. Welcome to Tony'sPicks.com and the happy hour today. I'm happy. You're happy. We're all here. Hopefully, check me out in the comments. Let me hear some comments from you. I'm here alone. You've seen me here alone before, but I've got everybody in the chat to keep me company today. So appreciate you. I won't be able to flash any of your comments on the screen or anything, but just come at me with some questions today if you want. We'll go over this NBA, MLB, and a 5-game hockey card tonight as we take a look at some of the action here. Thank you to Randall, Nicholas, PWR, Critter, Ron, and Andrew for joining me in the chat. Let's get rolling because we don't have time to waste, especially with this NBA card. We want to keep you updated on all the injuries in the NBA. I think this is kind of the main thing we're looking at here with all these games. And funny, we know that a lot of the games don't have much meaning down the stretch, but they do today with positioning anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look first here at the early card. We'll probably just go all the way down. We don't have to go with a panelist or anything. So we'll just keep going maybe with all the games at once, and then we'll just maybe give a pick on some of them and get some picks from you as well. And thanks to Nick, he tells us we've already got a postponement. Oh no, we need our baseball games. Toronto and Baltimore has been rained out. Thank you, Nick. Well, I'm putting my buddy Nick in charge here. All right, here we go. Orlando and Indiana. You got Indiana down to you talk about a move here, right? Down to a 3.5-point favorite. It's mostly personnel related here on Friday. For Orlando, Wagner's out. Banchero is out. Carter out. KCP is out as well. For Indiana. Halliburton, he's out tonight, and also key players here. You got Turner out, Siakam out, Naismith out, Nemhard out, and Shepard is doubtful. So that's kind of the key here with this one, with Orlando and Indiana. So it's just a matter of maybe who wants it least when it comes down to these two with their positioning currently in the Eastern Conference. We know that, East Conference, things are pretty much settled. Orlando right now, they're going to probably finish in 7th place. They're 2 games ahead of Atlanta with 2 games to play. For the Pacers here, they're in a little bit of a battle with the Knicks for that 3 spot. It does feel pretty important to kind of get to that 3 spot. Pacers have clinched a first round home edge there. So I'm going to take the discount here with Indiana here in this one. Look, you're just going to have to play the guessing game, kind of. You maybe have a feel for these lineups today and who's going to be out there. I'm going to go ahead and lay it with what I think I'm going to consider a discount here in this one with the Indiana Pacers in their matchup with Orlando. Orlando's won 5 of 6 coming in, but Indiana's just as hot. They've won 6 straight, so both teams are kind of ready for the playoffs. I'll take Indiana. All right, next up, we're going to just keep going down the line here. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining me here on the Tony's Picks Happy Hour. Atlanta and Philadelphia here. You got Atlanta in this one, an 11-point favorite here. Atlanta's got a relatively clean injury report, so they may have a little bit of something here as far as down the stretch right now. They're trying to stay ahead of Chicago in the 8th spot. It's so interesting, the play-in portion of the tournament. The 7 seed, since the page format has been used, that's the creator of the format of the play-in tournament with the 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10, winners advance, loser plays the loser of one plays the winner of the other, and then both teams advance. It's just a matter of the last game they play is for seeding. So 7 seeds always get in. 10 seeds never get in. 8 seeds get in slightly more than 9 seeds. So it is kind of important here for Atlanta, and they're a big favorite here by 11 points here in this one. And like I said, they've got a pretty clean injury report for Philadelphia here today. Yabusele is out, Oubre is out, Lowry is out, Reese is questionable, and Edwards is questionable here in this one. I'm going to go with the over here with these two. It's 240, so we'll see if Philadelphia has anything for Atlanta. With Atlanta, a little bit of motivation to win here, maybe cover it as well. Give me the over with Atlanta and Philadelphia. All right, Next up, Milwaukee taking on Detroit here in this one. You got the Pistons here favored by 6. Been a slight move here over the last couple of minutes back to 6 after it was 5.5. You do have for the Pistons here, you got Isaiah Stewart. He's out right now with a knee injury. Didn't look that great as far as that injury was concerned. And Giannis is on the injury report for Milwaukee, but he is probable here. So I'd say relatively clean report here for these two. For Milwaukee in this one, they are probably locked in. It's these two are right next to each other. Detroit's in 6th, Milwaukee's in 5th. So I'm going to end up here taking the over in this one with Milwaukee and Detroit here. And right now, the current line in the game is 230. So it's already been a pretty big move to the over here. And man, I've got another over here with Milwaukee and Detroit. All right, let's take a look next at Charlotte and Boston. Now, Charlotte here is a 19-point underdog to Boston today, but it should be noted that there are certainly a few injuries here to report for the Celtics. Obviously, Charlotte in a bad way right now. No matter how bad they've been even worse here down the stretch since we've entered in the end of the season where they're already toast. And Boston's going to have a couple of guys here tonight on this report, including Jaylen Brown here. He's going to miss this game. So the injuries are a little bit notable. The spread actually did touch about 20 points here earlier, but officially here with some of the injuries, Jaylen Brown is out here. And for Charlotte, they do have a relatively clean report. Diabate is questionable here in this one. Miles Bridges is out. Josh Green is out. So just a matter of how much pain can you stand for the Celtics. Derek White probable, Big Al probable, and Drew Holiday is probable as well. You're on your own on this one. I'm going to go ahead and move to the next game. Just keep you informed. Hey, we're not going to get picks on every game. I got some premiums over at Tony'sPicks.com. Make sure you check out my best plays. I'm still rolling with a 3-pack of winners in the NBA tonight, even on this huge card. So, hey, shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for joining me. Ron Hahn will give me a hand here today on the show. All right. Next up, I'll move to Cleveland and the Knicks. You got the Knicks here favored by 1. It was 10 earlier, but the issues for the Knicks tonight. Look, I guess it's time for the Knicks to just mail it in and get ready for the postseason, given their current status right now. The Knicks are still trying to fend off Indiana a little bit. 2 games left for both teams. The Knicks could stand to win here to make sure they get third place in this one, but and the injury report really would show that we don't know exactly the status yet of Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, but you've got to think that the sign is on the wall here with their questionable status, and the line at 1 doesn't feel like those guys are making the lineup at all. I think I have the best injury report. Usually I got my guys here to give me the best, but I show them both as questionable here. Hart questionable, Anunoby questionable in this one as well. But look, Cleveland's got an issue too here with the Spider Mitchell. He's out of this game. Sam Merrill's resting. Ty Jerome is resting. DeAndre Hunter is resting here. Cleveland's locked in for sure. But if you like the move, you probably like Cleveland even here at a +1, or, it's basically a toss-up. I'm not buying that. I'm actually going to go with the Knicks here. Look, if you look at the lineups that these two teams are going to maybe send out there tonight, I guess that's what I would more look at than any trends or anything. I'd just try to judge the personnel here. But look, you hope a guy like maybe Jerome could make the lineup. You got some game time decisions in here, but Jared Allen is going to be in the game. Miles Bridges will be in there in the game for the Knicks, and we'll see about who else makes the lineup. And I'm going to still just take the Knicks here in this one. Look, they are the team that actually still, despite the fact that they're resting all these players, they're still trying to hang on to the 3 seed against Indiana here. So Indiana's, by the way, like we mentioned, they're pretty hot and they're at home. So I would think the Knicks would need to win. Cleveland, like we said, locked in. So I'm going to take the Knicks here. Maybe I've just read the tea leaves wrong, but I'll just lay a point with the Knicks. Figure Cleveland really doesn't have anything to play for either. All right, Washington and Chicago. We'll mention this game with Bulls here, 15.5-point favorite, 237. No pick for you here in this one, but let's take a look at some of these with Washington here. Holmes is out, Poole is out, Middleton out, Gill out. Brogdon is out as well. And we did learn, let's see here for Chicago, Giddey questionable. Terry is questionable. Jones is out here tonight. Lonzo, he is out here again. And Jalen Smith is probable. So a lot of moving parts here in this one with Washington and Chicago. You're going to be on your own, I think, in this one. I'll kind of take a pass here, I think, with these two tonight. For the Wizards here, you're probably going to have a lineup of Carrington, Johnson, Champagne, George, and Sarr. Bulls will probably end up with Giddey, White, Herter, Buzelis, if Giddey makes that lineup, and Vucevic. So we'll see on that one. Let's move on. Hello to Trevor in the chat. Miami taking on New Orleans tonight. You got Miami here on the road, a favorite, currently by 15.5. You know, this one opened as low as maybe 11.5 on the send out, maybe 12.5, 13 by the time it hit the betting boards. Tyler Hero has been ruled probable for this game. Isaiah Stevens is questionable. Larson is out. Love is out. And Alec Burks is probable for the Pels here. You got Olynyk questionable. Messi questionable. Hawkins questionable. Brown questionable. Alvarado questionable as well. So New Orleans has been toast for a long time. I'm going to take the under here. I think you look at this total. You look at some of these end of the season totals, and man, when you see these 230s, 240s, and then you got a game down here, 217. And anytime you see in these low totals, 214 right now, give me the under tonight with Miami and New Orleans. Toronto is taking on Dallas. Here tonight, you got Dallas, a favorite by 11.5 in this one against Toronto. The total 225 here in this one for Toronto. RJ Barrett is out. He's resting here for the playoffs for Toronto. Ingram out. Roden questionable. Walter out. Podol out. Quickly out as well. For Dallas here, you've got AD. He is probable here tonight. Clay questionable. Exum questionable. Dinwiddie questionable. Hardy questionable. Here in this one tonight. Looking here currently at the situation with Dallas, I mean, they're the team that at this point probably has a little something to play for. They're trying to catch Sacramento. Like I said, the 10 seeds never advanced out of the play-in tournament. The 9 seed has advanced a couple of times, I believe, since they had the format. So the Dallas Mavericks here, pretty big favorite against these Kings. Dallas's status certainly is a little bit more in question here as far as moving up. They are one game back of the Kings currently. And Toronto, we know right now Toronto is out of the postseason, so Dallas has the motivation here. I'm going to end up here taking the under in this one. Current total here is 225. And I'm actually seeing Dallas has moved up to an 11.5 or 12-point favorite. Give me the under, Toronto and Dallas. All right, we'll keep it moving here on the Tony's Picks Happy Hour. Thanks for joining me. Ron in the chat, he's going with the under. Richard, he liked that extra college baseball play last night with Florida. Hey, they had it, didn't they? What, they scored 6 runs in the first inning, or was it more? And they coasted there. He said lay 4.5 runs. They won by, 11-2, I think. All right, Memphis and Denver here in this one. Oh, gosh. We saw what happened to Memphis last night, giving up that record 52 points in the third quarter in that game to totally blow. That was a close game, of course, with Minnesota, and Minnesota went on to win. Yeah, it was a modest comeback by Memphis, but that was terrible, actually. And in turn, the total in this game has jumped like 5 points here, maybe 4 now. It's actually come back down to about 244 here. The sharp books actually moving a little bit lower even here in this one. but you do have Denver favored by 7 here. For Memphis, you got Wells is out. We know Clark is out right now. Not a great situation with Clark. For the Nuggets, Jamal Murray is questionable here, and that's really it for the Nuggets. Look, the West has a little bit to decide here, especially with Lakers, Denver, Clippers, Warriors, Memphis, and Minnesota, all within 2 games of one another between the 3 spot and the 8 spot. Now, some teams do kind of control their destiny with tiebreakers. Denver here in 4th place. They know the Lakers can wrap it up there in the 3rd. They might be slotted into 4th, but they still got to win to get that first round home court. So I think that is kind of big here, but the line might reflect that maybe Memphis could give a little bit of a battle here, and we'll see what the showing it down to 6.5 here in this one. I'm going to be crazy, and I'm going to go with the over after what I saw last night. Look, the in-game total in that game last night moved up to like 270 at one point before it kind of slowed down there a little bit. So I'm going to take the over again. What's going on here with these guys? Give me the over tonight with Memphis and Denver. Next up, Brooklyn is at Minnesota here. Now, Brooklyn, they're one of the few teams that feels like, even though they've been out of the race here for a little bit, that they're actually giving a little bit of effort. But, man, this line is 21 for Minnesota, maybe after what we saw last night. Remember, some of these teams are on a back-to-back here in Minnesota. I'm not saying they got exhausted in that game, but doesn't matter. They have a clean injury report here pretty much. For Brooklyn here, you've got D'Lo questionable, Cam Johnson questionable here in this one. So I'm not sure I can do anything here. I'm going to leave it to you guys in this one with Minnesota favored by 21 points. Could I give a lean here maybe to Minnesota? Oh, maybe my lean's on Minnesota. Can I give a lean out here? Ron said he's got some picks in there. Sorry, Ron, man, I need you guys with those picks. I want to read them off here. PWR Critter, Memphis under. Oh, gosh, I'm going against you guys here. You guys are going to kick me off the show. For Ron, he liked the Nuggets in that game. He also liked the under. So you guys, hey, you're getting the best of the line. I'm not in that Minnesota and that Memphis-Denver game for sure. Hello to Mr. Westers in the chat. We'll get to that baseball. Go ahead and put your picks in, Mr. Westers, so I have something to refer to when I get to the baseball portion. Thanks for joining me here on the Happy Hour. All right, let me get to the next one here now with OKC on the road taking on the Utah Jazz. You got Oklahoma City favored by 9. Total 234 in this one. Great point, Ron. But again, we are dealing. You saw the Memphis defense, he says in the chat. Denver and Memphis just went over 245 twice in their last 20 meetings, so he'll take the under. But you watched last night's game, brother, didn't you, Ron? Granted, we're at these last 2 games, they could just fold their tent and go out there. And again, maybe Memphis is, if you look at the line, they're expected to be competitive here in this one. All right, for Oklahoma City here, you got the guard, Jalen Williams. In this one, he is out currently. SGA is out. This is part of the big factor in this game, but they're still favored by 9 because they're Oklahoma City and they pretty much cover every game no matter what. Now, we don't get a lot of games with SGA out. He's really just missed 3 or 4 games, I think, all season long. But also for OKC here, Caruso out, Usman Dang out, Wallace out, Chet out, Hartenstein out, Lou Dort out. They're all out. Dukas, he is probable, and A.J. Mitchell probable for Utah. Isaiah Collier questionable, but you got Kenyon Martin Jr. out. You got Walker Kessler out, and you have a bunch of guys, of course, that have been out for a while here with Oklahoma City and Utah here. So, all right, we'll just maybe we can get something together on this one still. I'll go ahead and make a play here with these two. Look, I'm kind of leaning on some totals here because I think that pace of play might be a little bit more significant than who wins and losses with just, basically with 2 games left in the season for most of these teams as we bear down and get ready for the postseason. But Oklahoma City, they've clearly clinched the best record in the NBA here. So I'll take the over tonight in this one. Total currently is all the way up to 234. I don't know if I can go premium on that, but seems like the Sharps have been moving on the over here. All right. Clippers and the Kings tonight. The Clippers favored by 7 to 26.5. This is me talking about injuries here and players missing is pretty much the gist of our show, isn't it? For the Clippers here, you got Zubats is questionable. Normie Powell is questionable here in this one. Patty Mills out. Nick Batum out in this one. For the Kings, Keegan Murray questionable. Malik Monk is out here tonight. So let me see what you guys want to do in this one with the Clippers and the Kings. If any game tonight has a little bit of significance, I think it's this one. You got the Clippers. They're in the middle, in the midst of that battle between all these West teams that are going to have some movement. I would think one or two teams are going to move. You do want to win, obviously. The Clippers have motivation here. Sacramento, they would like to win. That 9 spot is far more important than the 10 spot. Believe me in what I just said. Remember, the 10 seed is never advanced out of the page format. The 9 seed has advanced a couple of times out of the page format. So I think there's been 3 or 4 years of it. So you can basically, I think there's maybe 6 or maybe there's 8 games. There was a little bit of a format change, but still it's doomsday for you if you are in the 10 slot. So Kings currently in 9th right here. Clippers, I think, I'm going to say they have a little bit of motivation here, maybe the better team with motivation. I think maybe that's why they're favored in this game by a healthy margin of 7 points. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Clippers here in this one as my pick here on the show. I'm going to go with the Clippers. All right, let's go next with Golden State and Portland. Here tonight, you've got Golden State, a 14-point favorite in this one. Total 223.5 here. And the Warriors, again, another one of those teams that's mired in the middle of the situation. They're basically have the same record as Memphis, but Golden State's in 6th. Memphis is in 7th. Remember, the 7 through 10 has to play the play-in tournament. Now, like I said, the 7 seed is advanced every single time in that tournament there, but they could even fall to 8th right now. It's just such a bizarre little setting there in the West right now. Portland, we know, as good as they've played down the stretch, they are out of the postseason. So just a matter of how much pain you can stand here if you want to take the Warriors here tonight. I'm actually going to pass on this one tonight. I know this is a good, hey, there's Solo. Solo's going to help us out here too. Solo, hang tight there. I know I'm already whipped through this basketball, but if you've got some plays, I didn't give plays on every game, but Solo says go over here with Golden State and Portland. Hey, I've given out about 6 or 7 plays so far. So, all right, not the happy hour, says Jerry. This is a rush hour with me talking, right? Hey, I want to get this show over with and get started with my sports betting weekend. So we still got plenty to talk about here. Thank you for joining me on the show. Next up, well, I would kick this one to the curb if I wasn't on the Tony's Picks happy hour. We talk about it, or at least give you a chance to talk about every game. But how about San Antonio and Phoenix tonight? These teams are done, so we'll just touch on this one briefly, let you know the line is Phoenix by 5 and the total 232. Almost feel compelled to give a pick on this one. Here you got Sohan is out of this game. Minix is out as well. Vassell is out, so key players there for San Antonio out. KD is out probably for the season there with that turned ankle, and Nick Richards is out here as well in this one between San Antonio and Phoenix. Phoenix favored by 5, total 232.5 here in this one. PW Critter says fade the Suns. That sounds like a pick to me. Give me the over tonight. I'll be the guy to make a pick, of course, on the game that means absolutely nothing. Funny how we're down to all this with 2 games left, and every game has just a little bit of something there, right? Every game has something to determine here a little bit with seeding, at least. All right, finally, a game that does have a lot to do here with seeding. The Lakers are looking to clinch that 3rd spot. Man, they've been money with their revamp lineup here a little bit. For Houston here, Sengun is out. Fred is questionable. Jabari Smith is questionable. And Jashawn Tate is out tonight. LeBron is on the injury report, but he is probable with a groin. The thought process here for the Lakers is that they should try to win this game tonight against a Houston team that they're stuck in the mud a little bit. They're in second place, and that's they're not going anywhere. They're going to finish second there in the West. So the Lakers' motivation is to finish third here, and they can do that with a victory here tonight. And they don't have to worry about going on the road for their next game like they are scheduled to do the winning if there is any pressure. Still, the line has gone up here from 9.5 to 12. I'm going to say that this Houston lineup tonight still gives them a little bit of a battle. You're playing the Lakers. I think they could find a little something a little within to compete here tonight. They're obviously a pretty great team overall, do have some missing parts, but I'm going to take Houston to cover the spread here tonight in this one, and that's a look at the NBA. That's awesome, you guys. Thank you for bearing with me here on the Tony's Picks Happy Hour. Let's move to the major leagues tonight with our card here just about set to get ready to go, actually, with an early start. 6:10 Eastern, 3:10 Pacific. First game up is Kansas City taking on Cleveland here in this one. You got Tanner Bybee going for Cleveland. Chris Bubich on the mound here in this one for Kansas City. Look, Kansas City's down to $1.30. Some of the square books even lower here, and they were a little bit higher than this. So I'd say the move here is on Kansas City in this game. I'm going to go ahead and I have a premium in this one over at Tony'sPicks.com. I guess I can kind of talk my promo here right into the show. So, hey, check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. I did roll with a 3-pack of plays tonight in the major leagues. So check me out there over at Tony'sPicks.com. And I got a pick in this one with Kansas City and Cleveland. So please consider that. You got Royals coming in 7-6, Cleveland 500 team so far. These teams have combined to go 10-15 to the under so far this season. Bubich hasn't allowed a run so far in 2 starts. Bybee, 6.52 ERA, but he's been okay. He's got a 207 BABIP coming in this one. Not really striking many batters out, but Kansas City and Cleveland tonight. All right, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati here. You got Brady, give me the under. I can't help myself. Give me the under tonight with Kansas City and Cleveland. I better give out some baseball plays. You don't have anybody. Matt D, thank you here. And Nate Cerna, thank you in the chat as well. He said he bought a couple of points with the Lakers just to make sure. And really appreciate you guys in the chat. Awesome to help me out here today. Rod's actually with us on the 1s and 2s in the back. So he's on remote, so he just can't work the screen out. You saw him kind of pop in there a little bit. He's producing. All right, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati here tonight in this one. These are all weekend series. We get ready to roll here this weekend. You got Brady Falter going up against Singer here in this one, and you got the Reds favored at home, pretty stiff price here, $1.60. Both teams 5 and 8. Singer has come into this team and supposed to give them a little bit, solidify this rotation a little bit here, right, with the Reds coming in. But these two teams are certainly very mediocre. We know that. And for Falter here, he comes in with an ERA of 8. They've lost both games with Falter so far, have the Pirates. For the Reds here, Singer 2-0, a 2.25 ERA in this one. I'm going to take the over here in this game. 160, the current line, and the total 8.5 under. Actually, most of the books look like maybe about 3/4 of the books are dealing 8 over as their main line, minus 115 or 120. PWR Critter leans to the Reds tonight. And for me, that seems like a high price. Was a pretty popular play among the public here for sure, but I'll go ahead and take the over with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Right, next up, Toronto taking on Baltimore here. You got Bowden Francis going here for the Blue Jays, a 3.18 ERA. Decent pitching matchup so far. You got Sagano, the import here. He's 1-1 with a 2.89 ERA. Oh, you guys, that's the rain out. Let me write postpone, you guys. You guys told me, and I was just by myself rattling it off. Thanks, Ron. Good. Let's go to the next one. Atlanta taking on. You guys told me, we said it, and well, here I am by myself. I went on autopilot. Atlanta taking on Tampa Bay here. Look, this Atlanta almost got rained out there last night, but they were able to battle it there with Philadelphia and get that extra inning win, avoiding the raindrops. And now they had to turn around and come on the road here to take on Tampa Bay. Dude, I got a premium on the total. If you want to check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com, you got Bryce Elder comes in with a 6.75 ERA. They did win his first start. He got a no decision. 1.2 whip, 200 batting average against, and a 100 BABIP for Elder, which is interesting to note. For Bradley here, 1-0 with a 4.91 ERA. They've gone over in both of his starts, which is interesting because the Rays have been a solid under so far this season. Hey, Atlanta on the road here at plus money. They're actually, the move has been on the Rays here. They're $1.20, $1.25. Heck, some of the offshore books, the square books, are up to $1.40. Give me the Braves here tonight in this one. I'm going to take Atlanta. We know that, they're not fully healthy here, and that maybe has been a part of their situation so far with their personnel, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Atlanta. Next up, a great series here this weekend. Could it be the best series of the weekend here among all the matchups, with the Giants taking on the Yankees? It's the Giants that are 9-3 right now. The Yankees are just 7-5, but Yankees, it feels like every game they play, their average run production goes down a half a run because they're not scoring a dozen runs anymore, but still averaging 6.8 runs per game for Robbie Ray here. 2-0 with a 3.18 ERA, great numbers, 184 batting average against, and a 138 BABIP coming in. Good control. Ray managing the game beautifully here a little bit. So we'll see what you have here in this one. I know the Yankees, they feel pretty popular here when you're able to get them at under $1.40 or so right now, mostly $1.35 it feels like. The total here, 8 under 15, 8 under 20 it feels like in this one. I'm going to take the Giants with Robbie Ray here as my pick on the show. Stroman's been, not great so far, 7.27 ERA. Everybody wants to bag on Stroman a little bit, but I'm going to take San Francisco. I don't mind Stroman, but okay, Jerry says he's got the Rays in the first 5. He's got, let's see here, Taj Bradley. We're talking about that Rays game back there. He's got Taj Bradley over. I'm going to say he went over 6Ks. Thanks, Jerry. Next up, Washington taking on Miami. Mitchell Parker here on the road, the left-hander going for Washington. It will be Eduardo Cabrera. They ended up settling on Cabrera here. You got Parker here, 115, the total 8 over 15, could be 8.5 under here in this one. I'm going to try Washington here on the road in this one. Parker, 2 starts, he's 2-0, 0.73 ERA, a 204 batting average against so far. Richard Lockhart's with the Nats here as well. So let's do it, Richard. Let's take him here. Cabrera makes his first start of the season. So give me Washington here. Hey, they are, after all, a favorite on the road, but just barely. The move has been slightly to Miami here in this matchup. So we'll see. But again, Cabrera gets a start here. Sandy Alcantara would have been in this spot, but his wife's had a baby. So there you go. All right, next up, got, who said it in the chat, the Battle of the Sox here with Boston taking on Chicago. Which one's better at this point? Well, we know the White Sox are, they're back to White Soxing. Is that a word? 2-10 so far for the White Sox. The Red Sox are a 500 team. These two teams have combined to go 9-15 to the under so far this season. Sean Newcomb, the left-hander, goes. He's 0-1 with a 5.19 ERA and 2.1 whip so far. 400 batting average against. For Martin here, pardon me, in this one. Martin, 5.73 ERA, 1.5 whip, and a 3.1 batting average against here. If you look at these starters, it's probably a first five over, it feels like here in this one. But the White Sox are averaging just 3 runs per game. Not even that, really, if you get technical on it. They are allowing just 4 runs per game here. Jerry says White Sox first five. He does like Martin over Newcomb here in this one. I'm just going to go over with these guys. They both have ERAs north of 5. I'll take it full game, though. That's what we do here. At least I'm going to anyway here on the happy hour. So I'll try the over here in this one with the Red Sox and the White Sox. All right. Hey, next up, it's the LA Angels, baby. Oh, man, what has gotten into these Angels, and can they sustain? They've had promise before, I guess, with Trout in years past. Like, could this be the year? Not much expectations here for the Angels. Everyone makes fun of Trout and his career going to, but so far so good. And they were playing slot machine yesterday with the home run tallies, where the Angels, where they've got all this power blowing up here. They've got Kokonowitz 1-0 with a 3.27 ERA going here on the mound for the Angels. They've won both of his starts. For Ronel Blanco of the Astros here, he's got a 9.45 ERA. Both games went over, of course. He's got a 2.1 whip and a 3.08 batting average against the 4.21 BABIP. You might think, well, Jerry's going to go. He doesn't like the Angels here in this one. Look, the move's clearly been on the Angels. I don't know if there's any value in it. I probably can't give it out as a premium here, given the price now. Look, the move is on the Angels. I'm going to take the Angels. I don't want to go against my man Jerry there, but I'm going to try these Angels. Look, the Angels are the team right now. They've actually fallen out of first place. The Rangers kind of snuck in past them right now, but the playoffs started today, which they don't. 12 games in the season, the Angels are at least in a wild card spot with this very good record so far. Pretty happy with the Angels at 8-4. Houston just 5-7. They're starting to put it back together. Maybe a little bit here, but again, they lost Arrighetti with that broken thumb. So. All right. And also the other news, Angels reliever Ben Joyce hit the disabled list, hit the injured list today. Detroit is taking on Minnesota here in this one with Reese Olson going for Detroit. He is 1-1 with a 5.06 ERA. Went over in both of his starts so far. He's got a 1.5 whip and a 2.75 batting average against here. In this one, Nick Handy, thank you for your plays on this little group there, Royals, Reds, and he will go with the Tigers in this one. And hey, I'm going to agree with my man Nick in the chat. I will take the Tigers. For the Twins here, they're going to go with David Festa. He was just called up for this start, and maybe a little bit more right now. Minnesota they've gone to a 6-man rotation, and they're getting injured here, so they're going to have to stretch it out here for the next no days off here for 12 days right now, and they have pitching Pablo Lopez hitting the disabled list today. So not only Festa here so far, but we may see young pitchers here for Minnesota here in the near future with this. I would think they could be finally, could they do it and call up a top 10 prospect here in Zebby for Minnesota right now. Maybe he could get a start in this series or the next. I think they actually can push some of their guys back a little bit here, but this looks like a problem for me for Minnesota. Minnesota ended up favored in this game. We know how they've struggled so far. They're just 4-9. Detroit's been the better team for sure so far this season. So Lopez with a hamstring, he goes down here, and I would say you got to maybe look at going against the Twins here in general. Just take a look at their matchups and see what you think. But if you're in a toss-up situation or something here, maybe this is a spot. I think the Twins are actually kind of a public team here tonight, but I have concerns with this pitching staff. And look, I think we all want to see Zebby Matthews come up. We saw him a little bit last year, but you're really talking about so far, at least a top 25 or top 30 minor league prospect here. Actually, this season, Matthews, I think, has looked pretty good in his numbers. So maybe we'll see him in the days to come. But it's David Festa today making his season debut. He's been up here before. He's has some time on MLB roster, a little cup of coffee. We saw him a little bit last year. Richard Lockhart likes the over in the first 5. Jerry says he's been garbage down there so far in the minor leagues, and maybe he's saying in the majors too. And Ron Hahn likes his Detroit Tigers and all. I'll go with him here. I like Detroit. Philadelphia taking on St. Louis with Aaron Nola coming in 0-2 with a 6.35 ERA. Whoa, Aaron Nola. He has a 289 batting average against, and good control, though. Nola here, not walking anybody, so always there. But for St. Louis here, and Andre Palante, 1-0 record, 3.86 ERA, 1.39. The whip, 222 batting average against coming into this one. The Phillies going to be favored. They did have a late night, and they had a farther trip than, say, Atlanta down to Tampa Bay. They traveled late and get here to St. Louis for this one. So maybe there's that. The move is on St. Louis here, clearly, as Philadelphia opened maybe $1.40 or so, and they're down to $1.15 here. Ron says he does like Nola to maybe find his way and bounce back here. I'm not fading my man Ron. Oh, we got Jerry. Cards first 5. I'm taking here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to actually pivot here. And no, I got the Cards. I'm going with the Cardinals here in this one. Call me a little bit wishy-washy here on the show, but I think for me, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cards as my play here tonight. All right. Let's continue on now with the Colorado Rocky. Or sorry, let's go with Colorado Rockies taking on my Padres in this one. The Padres are a huge favorite here in this one. Right now, the Padres are a $2 favorite here in this one right now. Maybe a little bit north of $2, a total 7.5 under at -115. You got Nick Pivetta, good numbers so far, 2.7 ERA, a whip of 1, and a batting average against of 189. So Padres got Pivetta. I thought it was a sneaky pickup for sure. You got Herman Marquez here for Colorado, 2.45 ERA in this one, a 1.3 whip, and a 231 batting average against for Marquez. But Rockies are 3-9 so far this season. Padres are 10-3 right now coming in. I am a homer, but I'm pretty objective when you've never won the World Series or anything. I know when this team is, well, I'm not going to say good or bad because I think most people would, say that the Padres look pretty good after all here right now. We're just getting word here within the last couple of minutes that Tovar will be in the lineup here for the Rockies. He was like the last piece there a little bit for their lineup today. Also, Padres send Jake Cronenworth to the disabled list right now. They're a little bit beat up. I'm still going to take the Padres here on the run line. Ron's going to take them too in the chat. All right. Keep it going here right now with Milwaukee taking on Arizona. Decent matchup here this weekend. Milwaukee's definitely, heating up here, playing pretty well. Coming into this one for Milwaukee here. Look, what do we know? Let me take a look at this. Are we going to get a bullpen game out of this Milwaukee team? This is where I was kind of stuck this morning trying to figure out what the Milwaukee's going to do. And, you guys, I'm hosting the show here, and I don't quite have it ready to go here. In fact, I think Milwaukee's actually kind of piecing it together. This is a bullpen game, I'm sure, is what we're looking at right now. You guys help me in the chat. What do you think Milwaukee's going to do here today? Talk of Quintana, talk of Rodriguez going up against here talk about Rodriguez, but you do have Eduardo Rodriguez here at least going for Arizona in this one tonight. I think Quintana does get the start here, though, if I'm not mistaken here, the left-hander. So what you have so far is Arizona about $1.55, but some books, I don't even think, a couple books don't even have put up a line yet on this game. Still, Arizona $1.55, $1.60. I don't know. They probably should win this game. That's not a great price for sure. Milwaukee's played just fine here. Maybe the pitching sketchiness a little bit could be. We got some plays in the chat. Ron likes Milwaukee, says Arizona bats are not living up to maybe their expectations. He says they're slowing down. Jerry says Diamondbacks an over. Mr. Wesker's not a fan of this bad Milwaukee bullpen. We know that. Richard Lockhart says go over here. George Franklin, nice to have you joining me here today. Really appreciate that. He says D-backs money line or run line should be an easy game. I kind of agree. I just don't like the price, but I'll go ahead and take him. If George here, who doesn't, I've not seen him in our chat too much, and I want to show my appreciation. I'm on Arizona. I'll take it at this price here. I also might like the under in this game. It's at 9. So give me. How about a double? How about a little parlay? Got to have a parlay on the show. Give me Arizona in the under. All right, Mr. Westwood says Arizona going to be clearly better on the road so far this season. Appreciate that. Milwaukee is actually 0-3 as an underdog, so you could consider that as well. All right, Texas and Seattle here. You got Jake DeGrom going up against Miller here. Bryce Miller in this one. Jake DeGrom, $1.20, $1.25 on the road. The total here is 6.5 over pretty much everywhere. There's some 7 unders heavily juiced, minus $1.25 or so, but mostly 6.5s here in Seattle, of course. So I'm going to probably go with the under in this one anyways, even if it is at 6.5 here. Let's take a look for the Rangers. They are 9-4 coming into this one with a good pitching so far. It's actually, they're allowing now 4.11 runs per game, so it's kind of gone up a little bit. Mariners just 5-8, a little bit of struggles here so far, but they got Miller on the mound, a 5.73 ERA, 0-2 record going up against Jake DeGrom. No record so far, but Texas did win both of his starts. I should say first place Texas Rangers right now. Maybe that's where they belong. If Houston's going to be down and this Seattle team is going to be down, maybe Texas can send a message here this weekend to get the season rolling a little bit. DeGrom, a 1.12 whip and a 244 batting average against so far here. I'm going to go under here. You can grade me at 6.5 in this one with Jake DeGrom on the road, about $1.20 to $1.25. All right, a couple more here real quick. We're going out to West Sacramento for the Mets, taking on the Athletics in this one. And look, I think if anything, if you follow me around a little bit, I did say that you're going to see these totals going up in Sacramento. It's more about the park than it is about the pitching. Sure, we know the A's aren't the best, and actually they might be, I don't want to say underachieving at 5-8. I guess the jury's still out. I mean, they're expected to be one of the worst teams in the league, certainly coming in. Griffin Canning goes for the Mets. The question about Canning here, and I've heard a lot of talk that people think maybe Canning could get shelled here by this Athletics team that, well, they've taken to their new grounds a little bit, at least offensively, hitting home runs, man. They've got certainly some interesting bats on this team, and they're doing the thing about the A's so far. If you look now, granted, Oakland was the biggest ballpark in the league, not only spacious in the outfield, but that huge foul ball territory, of course, always it counts for an extra out or two every game. But they didn't hit any home runs there with their weak lineup and all that. But you got a guy like Soderstrom here, and he's back. He was dinged up a little bit, but Langoliers, Brent Rooker, these guys are hitting home runs, man. For the Mets, they're not really hitting home. Pete's got 3. Soto just has 1 so far. Pete's been awesome. There's no doubt about it. But there's some holes in this Mets lineup a little bit. And even though I did say, talking about the ballpark, that the totals would go up here. I'm pretty much a guy that wants to go over in a lot of these games, and I did get out in front of this and told and said on all my appearances on these channels that just watch out. This is wrong. These totals are too low to begin with, and they will go up. And now we're looking at 9.5 or even some tens here for this game. I shouldn't bury the lead there, but for the Mets, they are about $1.25 favorite with Griffin Canning. Look, Griffin Canning is in this rotation for a Mets team that is but it's expected to do well, but they're supposed to do well with this money and this lineup. And they've acquired Canning. Wasn't great with the Angels, we know that, but he's got 2.79 ERA so far, 134 WHIP, and a 229 batting average against. He's done pretty good, but JP Sears is okay as well. The left-hander has a 3.46 ERA, a WHIP of 1, and a 224 batting average against, and good control for JP Sears. Now, after I just talked up all these games, all these numbers here a little bit, I'm actually going to go under here. I'm going to say just once here, I want to take a look at a 10. This is a free play, but they've snuck it up here a little bit, and maybe this pitching matchup is okay. I know everybody's I think people are kind of wanting to go against Canning here, but maybe the price, if you're getting on these A's, $1.10 or so, maybe it's not enough. Stick around, Andrew. I'll make a college baseball play just for you after winning yesterday. A great card tonight. I think we have seen some rainouts tonight in college baseball, but that's okay. We'll get some double headers tomorrow. All right, under for PWR Critter as well. And J. Navarro, nice to have you in the chat as well. George, what did you say? I was on the Rangers money line today. First time all season. Thank you, George. I appreciate your comments there about it. Usually we've got some of my buddies here, but just me today here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Feels like home. All right, I've got one more in the major leagues to talk about, and with all due respect to the Giants and the Yankees, here's a pretty good series for this weekend. The Cubs take it on the Dodgers. You got Matt Boyd going for the Cubs here in this one, and Yoshi Yamamoto here for the Dodgers tonight. For Boyd, hasn't given up a run yet in 2 starts. He's 1-0. Both of his games did go over, though, with that Cubs bullpen right now. I don't know. They've been not great. 4.97 ERA right now for the Cubs bullpen. We know the Dodgers are much better. 2.25 bullpen ERA. But for Yoshi Yamamoto here, he's 1-1. The Dodgers are 2-1 with him in there. 1.69 ERA, 1.0 the WHIP. In this one, so pretty decent matchup. You got Boyd, the left-hander here coming in, so we'll see what you guys maybe want to do in this one with the Dodgers and the Cubs here tonight. The line is currently $1. I'll call it $1.90 in general right now. There has been a slight move on the Cubs. The Dodgers were, I guess, about as high as 210 maybe for the most part. So Cubs come in 9-6, Dodgers come in 10-4. Good matchup here tonight with these two, and I'm going to try the Cubs on the run line. That's what I'll do. Give me the Cubs here plus a 1.5. I think that'll work it out here. Dodgers, look, they're awesome. We all know they're the best, Tony. But I'll still take the Cubs. No bias here. I'll take the Cubs just minus $1.25 or so on that run line. Let me take the Cubs, and that's going to do it for the major leagues. Really appreciate you guys bearing with me here. Flying solo on the happy hour. I don't drink alone, so I'll just keep on rolling off some plays here as we go to the NHL and try to find some spots here tonight, right, on the ice because of what we're seeing here at the end of the season. Let's quickly move into it. Let me cue up my notes here. A little bit different for me. I've done some shows by myself, certainly. And thanks, Ron, in the chat. Great job. Appreciate you in there. George says he doesn't want to fade the Dodgers, so it's either he plays the Dodgers or he doesn't. You know what I do, George, as a Padres fan? Tony knows. When I don't have a play, I bet the Dodgers, kind of that emotional hedge. That way, if the Dodgers win, I'll at least get paid. All right, let's go to the ice here with Pittsburgh and New Jersey in this one. New Jersey is a $2 favorite, and the total 5.5 juice to the over here in this one tonight. And what I'll do is I'll keep you abreast maybe of the goalie situation here, and if there's a key injury, we'll let you know about it. But you got Jake Allen here in net for the Devils. For the Penguins, you got Tristan Yari going in this one for Allen. Here he's got a 2.59 goals against. The Devils are coming off that 7-2 loss, remember, to Boston last time out. Allen uh, was in there against Pittsburgh. Remember, he did allow 4 goals on 19 shots in the game. That was against Winnipeg there the other night. For the Penguins, Yari here in here. They beat Chicago 5-0. Yari got the shutout. He's a 3.16 goals against coming in. He actually has 2 shutouts in his last 5 games, despite a mediocre 89.5% save percentage in those games. Penguins here, though, big underdog here in this one. I'm going to let me make sure here. I gotta get my plays out, you guys. And for me, I'm going to go with the under here in this one tonight with Pittsburgh and New Jersey. Like I said, current total has crept up here to 6 under 20 or so. Give me the under tonight with Pittsburgh and New Jersey. All right. And you guys can comment here a little bit on the ice with me with Montreal. Oh, Montreal, baby. How about the Canadiens right now? They are on a roll here just in time for the postseason. They're going to make it to the postseason here, about to clinch here momentarily for Montreal here. They are an underdog in this one against Ottawa, but Montreal, you know what? They're a good road team. They are profitable on the road. Now, Ottawa can get it done at home here, but look at the line here. It's moved from maybe $1.65 or so down to $1.40, maybe even $1.35. The move is clearly on Montreal here in this one, and hey, that's good enough for me. I'm going to take the Montreal Canadiens here in this one. You got Sam in goal tonight in this one. The Canadiens have won 6 in a row, and they're going to get that final wild card spot here in Montembeault. Here, he was great in that win over Detroit. They won 4-1. He stopped 35 shots in that one, and he has a 2.86 goals against for the Canadians' number one goaltender, not Canada's number one. For the Senators here, I don't think we have it confirmed just yet, but maybe it'll be Allmark here tonight, 2.6 goals against and a 91% save percentage. Ottawa is slightly the better team record-wise coming in. They played pretty well, too. They've won 3 of their last 4, but hey, Montreal's on this winning streak. It's feeling really good right now. They're also 22-15 on the road. You know, in the playoffs, I look down and I look at teams that are going to win on the road, because that's what you need to do. You got to win. You could hold your home ice, but if you can grab one game, man, that makes a huge difference, and especially for the teams that are going to be chasing those home teams a little bit. So Montreal with one of the wild card spots, I look for teams that win on the road. And if you look at some of the teams, other than teams like Washington, they win on the road. Montreal wins on the road. Minnesota actually wins on the road pretty good. St. Louis wins on the road. So maybe if you're looking for a little bit of value on the futures board, you're not necessarily satisfied with some of those heavy hitters right now in the NHL, maybe you can look for teams that win on the road here. I mean, we've seen some struggles, even some of these good teams of late, with Toronto and Carolina and Florida and whatever. Now, Winnipeg's been pretty solid too. They're 25-15 on the road, but what has Winnipeg ever done for us in the playoffs, right? So, we'll see. But Vegas is good on the road. My Kings are not good on the road, so you decide. But give me Montreal tonight, you guys. Just want to throw that in there while I had a chance, and just here by myself. So I'll talk a little playoff hockey as we're just basically most of the teams right now just 4 games, 3 or 4 games left. Some of them have just 2 games left in the season. So let's get to the playoffs. We know we've been dragging these last few weeks along. Detroit taking on Tampa Bay here, and look at Tampa Bay. They've gone up to a new $3 favorite here at a lot of books in this one against Detroit here right now. So you look at the situation right now for Tampa Bay here in this one. Look, they're still kind of mired in the situation. They can still, they're only 3 points behind Toronto here. Both those teams have 4 games left currently. So the Atlantic is still to be determined there at the top a little bit for sure. We know the Red Wings, they're still alive, but like I said, Montreal probably going to get this one, right? Montreal, you got to figure they're going to get that wild card spot. So maybe not a lot to play for here for Detroit in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the puck line here with Tampa Bay. Give me the Lightning to roll over Detroit. Look, it's I can't tell you it's a great price or anything, and the move has been on Tampa Bay. They were actually a little bit lower, I think, early on. It might have been like 240 or 250 or something like that. But right now, when you're laying it here with Tampa Bay, got to lay about only $1.25 on the puck line. Give me Tampa Bay tonight. All right. Keith wants some Korean bait. I'll try. I can't fill Ron's shoes. He's out at a gig tonight. Ron is a tremendous musician, actually, if you guys didn't know. And that's why we can hum some tunes. And Keith, Just Truth, really appreciate your Reds Run Line, Tigers, and over in the A's game. Thank you very much, Keith, for joining me here in the chat. All right, got a couple more here, and we'll get to some of your questions here. We wrap up. I've been on for an hour. I don't think we're supposed to go that long, so let me get on out of here, you guys. San Jose and Edmonton, we'll run through these real quick, man. Only I can talk for an hour and say nothing. For San Jose and Edmonton, huge 420 favorite in this one. Some of the sharp books actually moved to 350 or so here in this one. So for Edmonton, obviously, we know that they're actually still in a battle for the most part here. They actually haven't even clinched their spot yet. They could catch the Kings. Feels like they're going to finish their third in the Pacific. That seems pretty solid right now, and the Sharks are awful. We know that. So let's see what you want to do in this one. Could you just lay Edmonton here with that puck line? They're back to playing well. You heard what Rod said. He said, Connor McDavid looking pretty strong. I'll go to the total here. Maybe this one will be a little bit more fathomable. If you want to take this one, I'll take the under tonight with San Jose and Edmonton. After all, it is currently 6.5, heavily juiced to the over. Usually those go over, but let me say that the Sharks maybe they'll get shut out here. Maybe the Edmonton cleans up on them. One more here with Minnesota and Calgary. Pretty good game here tonight for sure. Minnesota number 1 in the wild card. Got Calgary. They're the only team still alive in the West trying to chase down Minnesota and St. Louis, who are actually both on 93 points, although Minnesota does have a game in hand here with these two. And you have Calgary here, a desperate situation, it feels like, at home right now. They'd have to probably win all 4 of these because they're going to have to pass one of those two teams between Minnesota and St. Louis, and those guys can probably go. St. Louis has just 2 games left. Calgary has 4 games left. So Calgary does have a little bit of destiny here, a little bit heading into the final few games of the season. So we'll see what you want to do in this one. But for me, I'm going to take the under in this one. You got, let's see, someone went, I think, with Calgary in the chat. Oh, Matty JC, thank you for commenting here as well. He says, Skinner for a point there. Thank you there. And yeah, you heard what Rod said about Edmonton, and McDavid said, didn't look like he missed any time at all with that little bout there on a couple days off there while he was nursing an injury reportedly. So, all right, give me the under tonight with Minnesota and Calgary. I think that's do it. We should wrap up the show. You guys got a few questions here, so maybe I can get out a few of these plays for you guys today that I've looked at here in college baseball today. And also, I think I do have a play in the KBO, but man, that's Ron's. We know that's Ron's specialty. Just announced, you guys, within the last couple of minutes here, Jose Quintana will be the starter for Milwaukee. So we weren't crazy. They hadn't actually made it official here, but Quintana will get the start for Milwaukee tonight against Arizona and Erod in that one. All right. Hey, also, I'm going to do this one first. I want you to take Arlington plus the points tonight in the UFL against Birmingham. Take the King of Spring, Luis Perez, my man, Luis Perez, and go under there. Arlington allowing just 9 points a game in the first two games. Arlington and under in the UFL. All right, let's do some college baseball real quick. How about we go to games here at the top of the hour here? Some of them have just started here right now. Tonight. So let me see if I can't just get one or two in here for the crew. And for me, I'm going to end up here with, I'm going to go to a little bit later on the card here in this one in college baseball with the matchup between Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. The total is 10.5 over 20. Maybe there's some 11 unders out there. I want to go over in this one with Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. Give me the over in that SEC game here tonight. And also, I think one more here. I want to go over in the Big 12 matchup between BYU and Utah. It's currently 14.5 for the most part, and I'm going to go with the over tonight in that one. And I think I had one more. Let me get one more in the SEC with Tennessee and Ole Miss and go under 12 runs in that one. You might be able to find a little bit higher number there. No, it's going to be 12.5 or 12. Give me the under with Tennessee and Ole Miss. And let me see if I've got anything tonight in the KBO. I should have hit up Ron here, you guys. I think the show's done. Appreciate you joining me here on the happy hour from Tony'sPicks.com. Make sure you join us here. Make sure you join the guys tomorrow on the Tony's Picks morning show. Tony will be there with his crew previewing the Saturday action here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. All right, that's going to do it. Really appreciate you guys joining me here on the show. And for Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.